Hey, what's up and welcome everyone to another Warzone Academy video, and in today's video we're going back once again with our typical Sunday series of reviewing your gameplay. Now somehow out of all the odds, I don't know what the odds are, but this guy managed to win the giveaway to have his gameplay reviewed again. We reviewed him last week, Salvatore, and we're reviewing him again, and we're gonna pick him apart. It's new gameplay, it's after we already coached him, and now we're going to see if he made the changes, and more importantly, we're going to talk about counter sniping. That's the entire end game from him. He's made a lot of improvements since last week, but the counter sniping is atrocious, and we're going to pick him apart, and we're going to talk about what he's doing wrong, and what's costing him matches. Guys, if you want your gameplay reviewed, make sure to follow me over on Twitch, or if you want to see people's gameplay reviewed live, follow me over on Twitch. And later this week, we're going to be reviewing a pro player. He has a pretty high kill solo duo game, and he's a close friend of mine, so keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in getting better consistently at Warzone, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Twitch chat as we review the next player today, every Sunday. I'll see you there. I'm going to roll it in 3, 2, 1. Are you kidding me? He won last week. There's 43 eligible users, chat. It's not rigged. We're going to review this together. So one of the things when we were looking at Charlie's footage last week is two things. One, in moments of transition where he was transitioning between pieces of cover, he was oftentimes a little bit crouched too much. He was crouching out in the open and making himself too much of an easy target to snipe. But the bigger thing is in gunfights, he would be like swinging far around corners and just leaving himself super, super far exposed to way too much enemy fire. Now, sometimes, as we saw in Ethan Stellar's video, it's okay to hard swing a corner if you're going to commit to a fight. Like if you're going to hard swing that corner, you know someone's there and you're just full sending around it to try to get Peeker's advantage, which is, you know, a minuscule difference that can make the difference between you winning a gunfight. So we're just going to see today if he's a little bit more aggressive with his movement, and then more importantly, using his cover well. And fortunately, he's actually landing where he landed in the previous one. So we're not going to watch him loot. We're going to watch him get into a gunfight. My man got his loadout. We can hear some footsteps. Nice. Ouch. I mean, that's really honestly poor timing. We all heard the footsteps there. I'm trying to think. This is a situation where I could see myself dying. You heard the footsteps. You instantly get behind cover. I may have, like... you used my sound to my advantage a little bit more to figure out how to play this fight. But this is just bad timing. You got kid caught mid-jump, and he peeked you at the perfect time. Honestly, that's just bad luck. I'm not even going to say this is bad. You get behind cover, you start to swing on him, and he just peeks at the perfect time. It happens. So let's treat that like it's nothing, like it's a bad, awkward 50-50. Let's see how you handle the sniper gulag. Nice little pre-aim. Let's keep moving. Nice. Okay, now you've got your whole... Get him. Yes! I hate people that melee in the gulag. Only thing I would have done different is as soon as you saw him rounding that corner, I would try to create space. Right here, you see him cut left. He could have came right at you right here. I maybe would have made a quick juke back, jumped, created some space just to give myself a little bit more time. But nice job hitting your shots. 2 in a row. GG's, man. All right, heading back. Let's see if you ego chow your loadout. You do. I love it. Hanging up a little high to see what's up.
My man.
So what's your plan when you're trying to land here, Charlie? Obviously, you want to get possibly back to your loadout. You had an MP5 and an RPG. The guy had a Ram 7. He probably took your MP7. All that's left there is probably going to be an RPG, if we're being honest with ourselves. When you land, and you land right here, let's say you didn't see this guy, and he comes out of this doorway, and he starts pushing towards you, or he starts pushing here. Where is your escape route? Because you have all open field that you have to transition out of. For me, I would typically land back more over here, or in there where you've got those escape routes where you're going to go pick up those LMGs. Minor detail, but right now you're in no man's land with no gun. What do you leave for you? M13, MP7. So he probably picked up his loadout, so that means you probably have your stuff right there. Yeah. Nice. Nice. So, great push. The guy's got his back turned to you, but then you kind of stop. Situation like that. You're sprinting towards him, you stop, and then you turn. Right? What you need to do in a situation like that is keep sprinting towards him, jump and then turn the corner, or slide and then turn the corner, so you can continue that horizontal momentum as you're jumping and turning. Obviously, it'd be nice if you could play with claw, because then you can do it all at the same time. Run, jump, turn, jumping with the claw, or a scuff, run, jump, clicking the paddle in the back. Buy some plates. Keep in mind your loadout is still over there. I also have some notes I want to say on your loadout when you pick it back up. Bumper jumper does work, but I don't like to use my right stick for jumping. Go check out your loadout. I promise you the MP5's still there.
Spotted a care package.
All right, so you're kitted out MP5. You can kind of use context clues, right? So you killed one guy, you won a gunfight, immediately came back from the Gulag and landed. But there were two weapons on the ground right next to the buy crate. So the guy that killed you bought a supply crate, bought his loadout, dropped the M13 and the MP7 Harpy that you carried. So there should still be two other weapons on the ground, which are your MP5 and your RPG. And if we want to talk about it even further, I don't like that loadout unless you plan on camping, because the MP5 cannot handle the mid to long range fights. So if you're going to run an RPG as your secondary, I would run an AR, or that's pretty much it. Even a long range MP5, MP7 probably won't do you too much justice in those mid range fights. To reload. You do have 14 bullets in your MP7. Once again, we'll take a look at the loadout. SMG only covers close, maybe a little bit of mid-range, and then an RPG. And then you're also running restock, which is good for the C4s, but you're rocking a heartbeat sensor, so you don't really get the restock element. Usually if you run restock, you want to run stuns. And if you're running RPGs, do you really need a restock on your C4s? Can I see what I'm saying? You're not making the most out of your restock class here. This is a good class. That's a great class. Okay. Only change I've recently made to my HDR class is making this the medium-sized barrel on the RAM instead of the super long one. Because you don't need that extended range, the smaller barrel will give you a little bit more movement speed, a little bit quicker aim down sight time, since you've got the HDR for your long-range engagements. Thank you for fast-forwarding it. He's got the fire sale. He's trying to make himself around to the buy. He gets shot at from down low.
Let's go, baby.
Beamed. Dude, great recoil control with the Ram 7. I've never used the Ram 7 with the sight before. It looks pretty clean, though. Nice shots. The guy just picked up a self-revive. Yeah, you're a little bit behind on your drag, but as you use it more, you'll start to stay ahead of that drag. Way to bring it down, though. Not much time on the fire sale. If I were you, I would sprint over. Looks like you're going to try to catch it in time, but you're not. Oh, well.
Prices are back to normal.
All right, you still got shot from the guy down below. Good beam on this guy. You're focused up a bit too much on looting right now, though. There's a guy down below you on the ramp that shot at you. At any point during that time, he could have ran up the ramp or the stairway and gotten a shot off on you. What's up, Bad Shot? Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I don't know how I feel about this play. There's no trophy. Actually, no, zone's coming. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about this play. What's up, J God? How we doing, man? I would jump off and grab that ATV. Good beams, good beams. Great beams. Okay, dude. think you can outrun this. Yeah, you're fine. You are just the biggest tease with your reloads, man. Plate up, reload. Plate up, reload. And these are fun. I love these late game wood circles. These are my favorite end zones to play. All right, so let's see what happens here. You're rotating up through the top. I don't know if you saw that guy or not. Rotating up towards the top of the map. You see that guy right there. He's got a sniper. I would be super, super careful, right? The guy has a sniper. It's late game. You don't have a trophy. Your game could have easily been over there. Early game, I run people over without thinking about it. Mid game, I don't. People have loadouts, they have C4s. You heard a gunshot. You see that ATV on the map. You're pretty sure someone's over here. I wouldn't have wasted your stun with a pre-stun. Don't repeat. Don't repeat. Don't repeat. All right, let's talk about this. Okay, 1, you threw that stun over the map thinking you knew a guy was there. That's not a bad play, right? But you don't have restock. I don't throw pre-stuns. I don't throw guest stuns if I don't absolutely know it, because now you use the one stun, you no longer have it. Let's talk about how you engage in the sniper fight. Okay, boom. You get shot from right here. Okay, that's fine. The guy didn't kill you. The issue is what you do next. Okay, boom. You're behind cover. You've got 4 plates. You need to plate up. Even worse than not plating up, you decide to rechow with the slowest aim down sight, like walking in the game. He had a trophy on the car? Okay, never mind. GG's, man. Fry that guy. Run him over. You're the king. You don't plate up. And you slowly, slowly walk to re-peek that. If that guy didn't have to reload, you're dead. Right? We've talked about this in the 5 fatal mistakes. We talk about slow peeking corners, slow rechowing. Get those plates in, and then swing that corner hard and make it harder for him. Because right now, when he's aiming at the edge of the tree, right? He's aiming either right here. Look at my crosshairs, they're amazing. Or right here. Okay, he's aiming right at the edge, waiting for you to re-peek one of those sides. So if you hard swing and start your aim from over here, he may shoot and miss behind you, and then you can get the shot off on him. Same thing with over here. If you slow peek, and you just kind of slow peek right here, this is your head, right where he's pre-aiming. All right, we're still getting into that habit. Transition between covers. You have to move. Transition between covers. Stop this little crouch game. This is the same problem as last week. You're doing a little bit better about it. You're kind of hugging this tree on your left. But in between those 2 covers, get to that next one. You're not within footstep range of him. Okay, there you go. Okay, we're learning. Little moments of hesitation. That's usually how change happens, is you slowly revert to what you're currently doing, and then you have like, okay, no, do what I need to do. And fortunately, because I'm pretty sure you didn't see that guy. He peeks right here, and he doesn't peek until right there. Good beams. Find cover. Nice job, dude. Now full send. Full send. Don't worry about that reload.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
All right, tip for using a C4 to thirst someone. If someone has full health on the ground and you throw a C4 at them, you will not kill them. So if you're trying to thirst someone who you just downed, you have to throw 2 C4s. And so in a situation like that, I would save your C4 because you don't have restock, 1. But 2, if you are going to use a C4 to thirst someone, don't detonate the C4 until after you hear the res animation. So when you're down on the ground, and J-God's in chat, he may be able to help clear this up. When you're down on the ground, I think you have 150 health or 100 health. And a C4 doesn't do enough to kill you all the way. And so when you do a self-revive, you revive with like 10 health. You're like 1 shot. 200 HP, chat saying 200 HP. Okay. So when you are downed in the down animation and you're starting a self-revive, it's not enough to kill you. But the second that you finish your self-revive, you have a very, very low amount of health. So you'll see in one of my videos coming up, I do kind of like the walk away, where I'll actually be able to pull it up real quick. Rotate. Now I'm gonna press. There it is. Notice how there, I hit a shot, I hard sprint to my next piece of cover, and then I use that piece of cover and I peek. I take my shots, I down him. I've got 2 C4s, and so a nice little cocky thing you can do, leave one of these up there, and say GG's. And I wait for the res animation to hit. And then I just walk away.
All targets eliminated.
Pinwheel rotation, ladies and gentlemen. So, even if I only had 1 C4 there, what you can do is you can throw that C4, wait for that res animation to hit, and as soon as that res animation hits, then you blow them up.
Gas is closing in.
You probably had time to push them. You're trying to be safe with the C4. Nice little use of the double explosion, or double square to blow it up. But you win the gunfight either way. Small thing, but 1 C4 is not enough to throw someone. If you are going to use the C4, wait for the res animation sound to hit. 6 kills, 12 people left. Let's go and watch it out from here. Way to hold your shot. You only got 1 armor plate, so you got to play this safe. This guy's aiming back at you, though. You saw his lens glare. Nice. Nice little jump reposition. Play it up. Now change your angle. Once again, peeking from the same tree. The guy's already shot you once. You know if he was to be peeking that, he would be aiming right on the side of these trees. So you've got all the options in the world. You can sprint jump over here. You can sprint jump over here. I just made a smiley face. Change up your angles a little bit when you're sniping. You're spending a bit too much time aim down sight. You're playing as if there's only other 1 player on the map right now. You're checking your flanks a little bit, but I would continue to rotate. Once again, one of the things we always talk about in the pinwheel rotation, as we continue to move alongside this map, it prevents anyone from flanking us from behind. But right now, because we're standing still, someone could easily move up this hill, and we're not checking it. So if I were you, I'd be checking back here, and then maybe checking up here. There is a little bit of dead space on this side of the map where there's not as many trees, so you don't have to rotate consistently. Just kind of be moving back and forth a little bit. Right now, you are legitimately posted.
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Less than 10 were still standing.
It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. We talked about it the entire game. You kept peeking the same angle over and over.
You've got gas inbound.
All right, so this guy's at the tree. Let's see how many times you peek the same angle. How many shots this guy takes at you while you're at the same tree. He peeks you once. He peeks you twice. He peeks you 3 times.
You've got gas inbound.
He peeks you 4 times. He peeks you 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times.
Less than 10 were still standing.
9 separate times.
Return to base for debrief.
Outside of that, man, it seems like your movement within ground fights are a lot better. You're starting to make a little bit more intentional rotations. The very first gunfight at the beginning was an awkward 50-50. I wouldn't think too much about it. You were making moves around it. I think so this gunfight right here, we can just kind of recap everything real quick. So I think this gunfight right here was just awkward. Right, you try to jump peek the corner. It's a nice little aggressive play. You know he's there, and he just peeks at the perfect time, and he wins the hip fire battle. Whatever. Okay, when you get back into it on the gunfight against this guy, I think you need to work a little bit more on your mobility. Maybe go into a bot lobby Or you don't even need to have a bot in the lobby. Just practice being able to run and jump around corners. Run, snap around corners. Slide, snap around corners. Because this... You didn't try to dead slide, or I'm not sure what you tried to do there. But you lost a little bit of athleticism. But nice drop shot either way. Outside of that, seems like your movement in between fights are good. I made a bad call about you using the ATV. Your recoil control on the RAM is actually really impressive. You need to get a little bit better about dragging it down in the early parts. And then your sniping your sniping shots aren't bad, but your sniping movement and your dealing with snipers is really bad. You're consistently, there were probably 3 or 4 fights where you were consistently peeking the exact same angle. What is your view on drop shot versus jump peek versus sliding around corner? So I'm kind of indifferent when it comes to the casual player. Slide canceling around a corner is technically best, but it's a very advanced movement. Okay, let's talk about it right here. So whether you slide, okay, and your body moves down and across and you stop here, or you jump and your body moves up and here and stops here, as long as you're providing horizontal movement that makes it more difficult for me as a player to track you, I'm fine with it. What I don't suggest doing is running around a corner and then drop shotting, because your movement isn't that great, and I literally just track you right there. And then once you commit to a drop shot, your entire movement for that gunfight is basically over, right? A drop shot for me is when I don't have time to build horizontal movement going into a gunfight, and I just need it. Drop shots are literally millisecond differences. They're not going to make the difference between a full-up gunfight, but it's just like 50-50, like I just need to get one more bullet off before you do. That's when a drop shot comes in handy. Jump shots are completely separate. By you jumping and clearing a corner, not only do you get peeker's advantage, but it makes it difficult for me to track you the entire way. Drop shots, it's not dynamic at all. You walk slowly here, and then you drop to the ground. I can beam you pretty easily. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So if you're clearing a corner, always jump or slide. If you're in the middle of a gunfight and it's 50-50 and stuff's getting awkward and you don't have time to like side strafe, jump, and go, that's where like the drop shot can help you pull it off. How do you win sniper 1v1s on roofs, though? Like, between nearby buildings? A lot of that comes down to gun skill. Obviously, if it's just kind of like you twos are just standing on top of a building, but a lot of it comes down to not peeking the same angle twice. If you have a ledge where you can, you know, either crouch and walk, or you can prone and walk and reposition, that would be best. How do you decide if you should use a sniper or the AR in the fight where he died, for example? It's your comfort level with the sniper. Me, I'm an egomaniac with the sniper, so I would challenge it. For the AR, you can use the AR, but if you're going to use the AR in that situation, think about it this way. What's the advantage of a sniper? It has the fastest time to kill in the game. But if you miss, the time in between shots is where you lose out on all opportunity. So don't make it easy for your opponent to hit a shot. Even if your movement is not great and your target reacquisition is not great, your ability just to move quickly and make him miss is what's most valuable. So if you're going to use the RAM, get your movement involved, get some side strafing in there, and then while he's trying to track you, that's when you get your shots in. Then he's got flinch to deal with on top of it. You can snipe in that position, and you can even snipe kind of slow peeking if you really want to risk it. But ideally, you hard swing that corner. That guy fires early out of instinct, and you reacquire him and shoot him in the time it takes him to reacquire and shoot you.